Hey gang, Primal Punch here, coming at you with Steel Bender's Helper and a quick tutorial on wrapping your Steel Bender's Helpers to maximize what you're trying to do, as in particular stepping up from the beginning model to the intermediate model, and how a wrapping progression might look. Okay, now you're going to need wraps of some sort, alright, even if it's just a strip off of your t-shirt. My recommendation is that if you're going to use like t-shirt material or something like that, to cut yourself a 12-inch by 12-inch square, and then you can fold that 3 times, similar to the way that these are, the Iron Mind pads are. Fold it 3 times so that you have a 4-inch by 12-inch strip that's 3 deep, or 3 thick, and then you wrap. Now I'm going to go ahead and unwrap my beginning, alright, and I'm going to show you how the progression. Oh, look out, baby boy, a little bit of chalk. You'll want some chalk for the outside of your wraps, in my opinion. You know, I've let mine kind of get unchalked, the sweat eats it up, but it's up to you. So okay, depending on your strength level, alright, if you're already, you know, you're bending 60 penny nails with some regularity, you're able to do it most times, you know, more times than not, then my recommendation is to wrap it about like that. Have maybe 1 to 1.5 inches of overhang that will allow you to use as leverage, okay? And you'll line your hand up with the outside, so now the steel, or the Steel Bender's Helper, is contacting right about there, and then the wrap is extra for you to pull that out, okay? Now as you progress and you're getting closer to using your intermediate, you're wanting to step up, you've been hitting it and everything, we're going to wrap this like that so that it's level with the outside, alright? And now inversely, right? Inversely. If you're having difficulty bending the beginning Steel Bender's Helper, then wrap it less deeply, so you've got more. Now, if we wrap it this way, okay, we get our rubber bands on there, rubber band, singular. I save these off of the vegetables. That's where I get my rubber bands. The broccoli, asparagus, stuff like that. Now, you see how much more leverage we have. And if I line my hand up the same as I did before, now I'm further out from the center and I have more leverage, which is going to allow me to do reps, whereas when it was wrapped more deeply I was unable to. Alright? And then, you know, don't get comfortable doing it that way. Continue to, you know, you loosen it by, if it's wrapped this way, then you'll turn the wrap to loosen it, and you can move it out and then turn it to tighten it again, or move it in if you want to make it more difficult. You don't have to wrap and re-wrap as often as you do with other stuff. So you make it more difficult on yourself. Continue to try to progress. Alright? Now, you feel like you're ready to start really stepping into that intermediate, and you want to make this more difficult. So we're now going to wrap it so that it's about level with the end of the piece, okay? This is going to be similar to your pads touching rating. We're going to have 0 extra leverage now, okay? This is going to be where it gets real. Make sure that you've got enough wrap that it's gonna cover your Steel Bender's Helper, because that rope weave, it will tear through your calluses if you're doing higher reps. Okay, I basically sanded the callus right off my palms doing the intermediate, or the beginning. So I want to get this pretty even. I'll move this one out a little bit, tighten her back up. Alright, now we're looking pretty even. These are really easy to wrap, you know, they'll tighten for you once you get them on there and everything. Boom. See, I just turn it like that and it's tightened. So now we're increasing our difficulty because we never rest on our laurels as far as strength building, alright? We don't ever say, hey, I'm strong enough, you know? We keep trying to gain. So now I don't have any leverage. So if I want to hold this out here where that steel is contacting that normal place, I've got no leverage out there. So now when I bend this, it's much more of a challenge. And if I move my hands in, even more of a challenge, okay? You can't bend it as deeply because your knuckles touch more quickly. But here, it's much more of a challenge. So then, I'm making a step up to the intermediate. I've got this wrapped as deeply as I can to maximize the resistance. Now, I am going to do the opposite. I will wrap this more shallow. So I'm maximizing my leverage here, but I'm maximizing the resistance on the easier piece to make that step up, okay? You can step up with that single piece. You get many different resistances based on how you wrap it, alright? Because we're either maximizing the leverage or maximizing the resistance. So now I wrap this only about an inch deep, inch and a half deep, maybe 2 inches, whatever, you know. You got to follow with wherever you're at. And remember, don't make it too easy on yourself. Success breeds success, but easy success can tend to make us somewhat lazy and even spoiled. So now I've got this wrapped out, so I've got that leverage. I line my hand up, that steel bender's helper is contacting right about there, and now I've got leverage where I can pull this out. I've made this easier, okay? I've made it easier on myself, and now as that gets easier, of course, we will wrap a little more deeply, so that we are then beginning to maximize resistance because we've made these gains. So you started right about there, alright? That's about as shallow as I would wrap it, about an inch and a half in. So then move it in by half-inch increments on each side. So you're losing leverage. You'll continue to line your hands up with the outside of the wrap. That steel bender's helper will contact a different spot inside your hand, and it'll become more and more difficult the less leverage you have. So I just wanted to come in with a real quick little pointers there. I've had some folks, some having difficulty with the beginning, and some folks having difficulty making the step up from the beginning to the intermediate. And I just figured it was time for me to do a little wrapping tutorial. Wrapping. I know what's going on in the hood. Alright. Enough of that funny business, mister. So, that's it. Maximizing resistance. Don't even get me started on the advanced, alright? Man, I've got a bunch of orders going out today. I really want to say thank you to everybody, you know, for being patient. I had to close my books for a little bit there because I had so many orders come in that I don't like to make folks wait. You know, I give myself 14 days for all custom builds, but I really like to get them done much more swiftly, you know. So there you go. We want to make steps up, and that's the way that you do it, by wrapping. And you can do this when you're dealing with steel as well. You know, when you're bending steel, you want to make those steps up in difficulty, then you just wrap it a little more deeply, and you'll be surprised. Alright? So, you guys live free, punch hard, and be good to yourselves, alright? And keep making gains in whatever area of your life that may be. If it's something that means something to you on whatever level, then make sure to continue making progress in that area. Alright? Whatever that progress might look like. And you be good to yourself, alright? Because that's the best way to make gains in your life, is to be good to yourself. Alright? Alright, I'll catch you later. Live free, punch hard, and be fierce in the defense of who you are. Catch you later. Bye.